Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I have a really big pickups video lined up for you guys, so I hope you're looking forward to that. To start off with, though, I just want to say happy Valentine's Day. I don't know, I guess you guys are my Valentines. I'm sitting here alone making a YouTube video for you. But yeah, you know, I hope you're spending some time with, you know, someone you care about, or you know, doing something like this that brings you joy. And yeah, so you know, I also wanted to share something. I've been trying to figure out exactly what it is, like why what is my purpose in sharing this with you guys. But I guess it's mostly that I quit my job. I have another week to work, and then I'm done. This isn't, you know, the first job that I've left, but it's been really good for me. It's really good financially, great benefits, like an adult, responsible, good job. And you know, I labored about it for a long time. I considered this very, very thoroughly, and honestly, I didn't really want to leave. But in the end, you know, for myself, this is necessary. You know, I'm at a point where it's time for me to grow and take another step and move on. So, you know, I'm glad I was able to recognize that. And I'm excited about doing something for myself. So I think my only purpose in sharing that with you guys is just to say, you know, please support me in that. I hope that you guys can, you know, be with me here just in my YouTube portion of this as the weeks and months go on here. You know, I don't know, just keep in mind that you know, I'm making changes in my life, and you know, I hope that they're all positive, and I'm excited about this time, and I hope that comes through as I'm doing content in the future. So that's that. Let's get looking at some video games here. I'm going to start off with PlayStation 1 stuff. As I was in my last video, I'm picking up all these obscure, weird games. So here's one of them. I believe this is another simple series. I'll put up here just so you guys know what it is. But that is All-Star Slam & D-Ball. You know, again, these things, like, they came out so cheesy here. And, you know, honestly, I threw this in, and I think it actually was a little disappointing over what I was expecting, but you probably can't really see on the back, but it's a dodgeball game, and it just really looks like, what was it, Super Dodgeball or something on the NES, you know, sort of those Kunio-kun, Neketsu, whatever those were, dodgeball games there. So it's not that same you know, company or art style, but it is sort of like 2D sprites, like exact same sort of stuff, like sort of special dodgeball moves and that kind of thing. So I really just was hoping that this would be really fun like that. When I put it in, though, I found it was pretty good, but the controls felt a little sluggish, and it just it wasn't quite as, it didn't grab me as much as I was hoping. But anyway, pretty cool pickup there. I want to check that out some more. I'll make room for where to put all this stuff. Additionally, I picked up this one, which is, gosh, I forget. Again, I'll put the information up about these. This is Bravo Air Race. This is published by THQ. So I just confirmed, yeah, this was like Recipro Heat 5000, I believe is what this was called in Japan. So anyway, this is one that was, you know, kind of localized here. And I played a little bit of this. It was pretty fun. You know, from what I read, people were like, oh, you know, this is, I don't know, I guess I expected this to be pretty fun, so it essentially met my expectations, but didn't really exceed them. But it is a pretty neat, just like, you know, essentially a car racing style game, but with planes. So you have that kind of extra, you know, dimension thrown in there of being able to move, you know, change your altitude. And it's pretty cool, so I'm kind of glad to have that one, Bravo Air Race. Next up we have, so this is something I found in the wild, and I just picked it up because it fit that kind of style of game that I've been checking out a lot recently, and this is called Rollaway. This is by Psygnosis. I assume it was developed by them, but I don't really know. Suffice to say, this is pretty cool. It's maybe not quite what I was expecting. Like you're rolling a ball, but it's really stuck to the ground. So there's no sort of physics of it like rolling around. And this really has me thinking that I need to check out the Super Monkey Ball games, because I have a feeling that I'll probably like those a lot. But regardless, it's still sort of a puzzle where you're trying to figure out like how to roll the ball around and collect stuff, and you can jump with it. So you're like rolling around on these stages and collecting these items and getting to the end. So far it's pretty basic, but I'm really curious to see where this goes. I've only played a little bit of it, so I want to definitely play some more. Next, a game that I did play quite a bit of is Jigsaw Madness. This was neat. This is so funny, but I played this game with my mom. I wanted to like play a game with my folks. I don't know, I was spending a little time with them, and I'm like, come on, like play a game with me. And it was funny, like no one really wanted to play a game with me, but my mom did, so she was sweet about that. And it was fun. Like we had fun with this. This is it's just a jigsaw puzzle game. This is not direct, but this is a port of that Jigsaw game that I showed off in a much previous gameplay spotlight video, I believe, of Marl Day Jigsaw. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. With the characters from the Marl games from Nipponichi. So anyway, if you guys haven't seen that, just check it out. I'll put a link or something like that up here. But this is basically the same mechanics, but pretty much totally different. All different pictures. The modes are different. It's just sort of the same basic premise, and you can do the puzzles sort of the same way, but anyway, it's a fun game. It's still, if you play that one or if you play this one, they're pretty cool. So I liked this Jigsaw Madness. Virtual jigsaw puzzle making. Next up, we have a generic racing game called Racing. This is another one in the Simple series, and man, did I even check this one out? I think I popped it in for a sec. It seemed like everybody and their brother was making a racing game, and they were all kind of generic. So, we'll see what this one is like if I actually, put, much time into it. But, I was getting a lot of the Simple series, and I wanted to pick that one up. Next one is another racing game, and this one is, interestingly enough, published by Atlas. This is called Peak Performance. And, I have to say, it seems like just another racer. I don't know why, I think they were just jumping on the bandwagon. I don't know that they developed this, but again, I'll put, some information up here if just to clarify. But, so you've got over 20 cars to choose from. It includes Pikes Peak Hill Climb, which is kind of cool. I think that's where the name comes from. And, choose the time of day, design your own car, blah, 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 blah. But it seems like a cool little racer. So, anyway, I went ahead and picked that one up as well. This one is something that I've been wanting to get forever, and that is Vampire Hunter D. Just, so cool that this came out here, an anime-styled game. It seems like a kind of an, horror adventure game, very similar to like a Resident Evil style, where you've got those sort of fixed camera angles, 3D background, or sort of pre-rendered. Actually, are these even I guess they're pre-rendered. And then, the characters, the 3D characters moving around. And I've checked this out before, but I've just never really owned a copy of it, and now I do. This wasn't very expensive, which was cool too. I kind of wanted to pick that up while I can. Next is something I haven't had a chance to check out yet. It's called The Bombing Islands. The main reason I picked this one up, I guess, aside from that it was Japanese developed and seemed really interesting, is it reminded me of Tako no Manine, if you guys remember from one of my my old Japanese Dreamcast pickups. It just has that kind of style to it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sort of like a little dude in a little puzzle map, and I just thought it seemed cool. I haven't even played it, so I have no idea if that one's good, but hopefully it is. Next one is Brahma Force. The Assault on Belt Logger 9. I believe in Japan this was just released as Belt Logger 9. Another Jalico game. I think Vampire Hunter, yeah, is also Jalico. I got interested in, what were Jalico's releases after picking up, what was that game, Vanarch, in my last video. So I just want to see, some other stuff that they released that seemed cool, and this is one of them. Looks like some sort of, kind of mech style, maybe action-adventure kind of thing. 22 levels of unstoppable action and suspense. Yeah, so anyway, I haven't really checked that one out too much, but hopefully that'll be cool. And last on the PlayStation front here, this was an import that I ordered along with one of the other games here. I thought there were 3 games in the pack, but I don't really remember what the other one was. But this is Gunner's Heaven. Just getting into 2D styled games, this one seems really neat. Yeah, I just couldn't pass it up for the graphics. Like, once I just ran across this, I was like, oh wow, this just looks awesome. Maybe I'll find a screenshot or something and put it up here. It's really neat looking. And I did play some of this. It's, I think, actually, I don't know, is it strictly 2D? I guess it is. But it reminds me of, what's that treasure game there? Gunstar Heroes, which, sadly I don't have, really. I've played a little bit of it. I really should have that game. I think it might be a little pricey, or it might be a little tough to track down, but I think, just kind of having this, I'd like to have that. This one, it is tough, though. I did, play some of this, and I found it challenging, but I think it's probably challenging, but doable. And if it's not, maybe there's a cheat code or something, I don't know. One way or another, I'd like to get into that some more. It's a really cool, just run and gun, side-scrolling game that it looks fantastic. It's really, really beautiful looking. So next, being out in the wild more, I found some stuff at Goodwill's recently. For starters, we have EEX Driver, the movie. Which is interesting because it doesn't feel that movie-like. You basically have the movie, which is 64 minutes, and then you have an extra sort of OVA sort of thing, which is Nina and Ray Danger Zone, which is 25 minutes. And I talked about this already a bit in my Anime I Watched video, but this is Kosuke Fujishima is the creator on this, and he did Oh My Goddess and sorry, I'm just gonna have to stop and think of his stuff. Sakura Wars, and he did this thing called Piano too, which I want to check out. But You're Under Arrest, a whole bunch of stuff like that. And this was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know it was him at first, and I really, really liked it. So check out my other video if you want to hear a little bit more. I don't know that I expound on it a whole lot, but suffice to say, EEX Driver is extremely good in my opinion. I picked up Submarine 707 Revolution, the movie. This is another one that I found at a Walmart. Sorry, not a Walmart, a Goodwill. I haven't watched this yet. Honestly, I don't know much about it, but it was $3, so I figured, hey, I'll take a chance on it. Another one kind of like that is Air. Now, this one I wasn't so sure about because it's really obviously a kind of a Chinese bootleg, and it was still like $3, and I just picked it up, and it's really, like, the video quality is horrible, and it's essentially they just ripped a fan sub. So, I feel bad even on the secondary market spending $3 on this because it just feels a little scummy, but. Regardless, I picked it up, and, it's Air, and I do want to check it out. You guys might remember in one of my Japanese Dreamcast pickups, I did play a little bit of Air, and it seemed pretty interesting. I love the opening theme song on this, and it is, it's Key, and they do, they just do some cool stuff, so I definitely wanted to check that one out. I did find some video games, at Goodwill's as well. This one here, Rampage Total Destruction. I don't know, it's tough when they try to, like, keep these, kind of old arcade, franchises relevant and kind of bring them, more up to date, but kind of keep the old style. I like that, but at the same time, I think it's a tough thing to pull off. This one is pretty cool, though, to check out. I did play a little bit of it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Rampage, but it's, you know, sort of PlayStation 2 style graphics. They definitely added some different elements to the gameplay, but I haven't had a chance to play this a whole lot. I still don't quite know what I think of it, but it's definitely a cool one to have, especially considering you guys remember that little preview I did of my my arcade cabinets. One of them is actually here in my apartment now. There's another one that's still kind of back where I built it, so I'll do another video on those and bring you guys up to speed on that, but this is something I'll definitely enjoy checking out on that. And also I grabbed this one, Asterix and Obelix, Kick Buttocks. I'm not really one for these sort of like goofy, cartoony, like more Western styled things, but I remember, I think this is kind of more of a thing in Europe, and I don't know, like I think people say good things about the old ones on the Maestro system, and you know, again, it was like $3 or $4 or $5 or something, and I figured I would just take a chance on it, and you know, might as well. So yeah, I went ahead and picked that one up. I haven't really played it yet, so no idea what it's like. Next is Dead or Alive 3. Now, you can see here this was $5, which was a little pricey, and again, this was Goodwill. I love this game, so you know, no complaints really at all. It's funny, you know, the original Xbox here, I'm getting a few things for it. I think you can still see it sitting back there, and you know, I'm glad. I'm so glad that I picked it up again, and I'm picking up just a few more things that I want to get back on it again, because I forgot, like, the Dead or Alive series really went Xbox, Microsoft exclusive, and you know, that was one of the main reasons why I liked having an Xbox, you know, back in the day, and you know, I sort of, that slipped my mind a little bit. So especially this one too. I don't know if it's Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate or Dead or Alive 3 that's my favorite in the series. I have to play them a little bit more, but these were definitely when the series was the best to me. I am a little bit interested in checking out, what is it? They're doing like another version of Dead or Alive 5, or maybe it's Dead or Alive 6 or something, I don't know. But I want to check it out again because it is a cool series. I pretty much just completely skipped on 5, but yeah, you know, I'll probably go back and check that out some more. But glad to have that one. That one was missing the manual, which sucks. That's sort of why I'm like, well, you know, it's $5 and I have to try to find a manual for it, but whatever. So more Tecmo Love on the Xbox. I have a feeling that the reason why this only ever came out in the Xbox One, the original Xbox, was probably that Tecmo had, you know, some sort of deal with them with Dead or Alive and all that stuff. So anyway, this is one of those arcade compilations. You can only get it on Xbox, and I just wanted it for, you know, my arcade stuff. There's some pretty cool looking stuff on here. You know, not that many games. Rygar is probably the standout one for me. Strato Fighter, I think, seemed pretty cool. And then, you know, there's just Swimmer, Tecmo Cup, Senjo, you know, Star Force. I don't know. I don't know a lot of those. Of course, everyone knows Tecmo Bowl. I'm not a big football fan, but who knows? Maybe that's fun. And this is more of the kind of Sega stuff that I've been picking up. So, you know, on both the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. These I found in the wild also. This was at another shop, that Tecmo Classic Arcades. I grabbed this one here, Shinobi, and Nightshade. And I have to admit, I was interested in both of these games back when they first came out. I never quite got up the nerve to pick them up. There was just other more interesting games I was playing at the time, so really interested to check those out. I guess I did probably try them both out a little bit, and you know, they're interesting. They do kind of go the route of like Ninja Gaiden, I would say, in how that's progressed into 3D, and you know, or even games like Bayonetta and stuff like that. And I think I'm not good at those games, so I don't know how much I'll enjoy those, but hopefully I will enjoy them a lot. Another one I picked up at that same shop is another Tecmo game here, Gallop Racer 2003, A New Breed. Now, I know this time that it was Crack Lotus that was talking about a similar kind of game on the PlayStation 3. I don't know, put it up here. And I'd never really thought about playing one of these games, but I saw this and I was like, it's pretty weird to have a franchise that's as like niche as this one consistently getting releases here. There were more than one of this series on the PlayStation 2. There was that one on the PlayStation 3. There has to be something there. There has to be some reason that these were popular. And you can see here that, that's got those kind of cute, like, I want to say Mina no Golf. What do they call it here in the U.S.? It's not Mina no Golf. Everyone's golf. What is it? Hot Shots Golf. Good gosh. It's got those Hot Shots Golf kind of characters to it. And, and it seems like it's sort of a racehorse simulator thing. And, I'm interested to check it out. Who knows? They might be pretty cool. Definitely have been, recommended by somebody whose opinion I respect. So, next up, I did get the alternate cover for Midway Arcade Treasures 1, so very glad to have that one. I will probably get rid of that other copy that I had. This was an interesting find, and unfortunately, this is also missing the manual. Normally, I'm really anal retentive about that, but I just missed the fact that this was missing it. Firefighter FD18. Again, this is not the kind of game I would normally seek out by any means, but I was just looking at it, and it's developed by Konami, and I was going, oh, okay, one of those sort of cheesy Japanese action game style things. I'm like, well, that might be cool. And I looked up some reviews on it. People were like, hey, it's totally a hidden gem, a classic. People say it's really good. So I said, heck, let me check it out. It was again $5-6 or something like that maybe. Another arcade collection. We have Sega Classics Collection. Now, this one is really cool. I think it has some minor issues, but what's cool about this is that it's remakes of Sega Classics. So these are all kind of like 3D-ized versions of these games. You've got stuff like Outrun, like, gosh, all kinds of stuff. Space Harrier, Fantasy Zone, Columns, Golden Axe, Virtua Racing, Alien Syndrome. It's really neat. Now, unfortunately, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that these are from the Sega Ages collections, I think, in Japan, where, they released these individually on those, which is that's pretty hardcore. And unfortunately, some of them I think are really bad conversions. Like, I think the Golden Axe is supposed to be like really not as good as the original Golden Axe at all. But some of these I think are pretty cool. I played the Outrun and I thought that was pretty neat. I think the Space Harrier is pretty good. So this might be a little hit or miss, but especially for like $7, I figured, hey, that's it's a really good. It's not even a chance to take. It's just there's some good games on there, so I wanted to get that one. Next is something else I found out in the wild. This was at a different. Well, I guess this was at the same shop as this one, so different shop now. We have River King: A Wonderful Journey. This is another one of those Natsume. What are they? Simulation / RPG / whatever. Maybe romance games. I don't really know. But I assume this is kind of in the style of the Harvest Moon sort of games. And honestly, I've never played those, so I don't even know if those are good. But I figured, hey, what better way to figure out if I like Natsume's games than to just try some of these quirky ones. So you can play as one of 4 family members, assist villagers and other shoreline folk, win it all in fishing and cooking contests, and take on crafty critters in tricky trivia contests. That sounds really weird. So, anyway, there's that one. Another one that, again, this is the trouble with buying games in the wild, I think, is that you take chances on stuff you wouldn't necessarily normally do, which is good. It's maybe good and bad. It's good if you have the money for it, I guess, and the time. Daisen Ryaku Exceed 7 Modern Military Tactics. I'm not up with my Roman numerals right now. This is one of the strategy series, Daisen Ryaku. And, again, this is something I've never really been interested in, but I do like strategy games. And, again, I know this is a Japanese-developed series, and I figured, let me give it a shot. Again, this is another one that's had releases here for a long time, so, I figure, hey, there's got to be something to that. Very interested in checking that out, actually. I kind of have been getting more and more into strategy games as I am getting older, so I'm actually pretty curious about that one. Another Natsume game that I ended up picking up is called Metropolis Mania. This one seems really weird. Maybe not weird. It's kind of like, I think, sort of a Natsume-developed Japanese version of SimCity kind of deal. And I'm not really a SimCity sort of player, but again, it's Japanese-developed, and I figure, it might have a style that I'm down with. So I wanted to see if it's any fun. This wasn't super expensive, so I took a chance on it. And the last, well, I guess this isn't the last one of those. At that same shop, I picked up Virtua Quest. Now, this is another one of those Sega-developed games. I don't know much about this one at all, but this is one of those things where, not only did they release a bunch of stuff on Xbox, they released some things on PlayStation 2 that, again, I just feel like might have ended up on the Dreamcast at some point. So, I wanted to check this one out. It seems pretty neat. It does have one of the characters from, Virtua Fighter in it, traditional RPG elements, more than 45 special martial arts abilities. It seems like a pretty interesting little game, so we'll see what I think of that. And finally, this was the last one from that shop, I picked up Capcom Fighting Evolution. You guys remember in my last video I was picking up a whole bunch more fighters. I just really want to kind of delve into the archives of those and just see which ones I can actually get into. You see on the back of this like a whole bunch of games, and I just figured, oh, maybe this is a compilation. It's not. This isn't a compilation. It's like one of those mashup games. So it's kind of like Capcom versus SNK, where you have SNK characters and you have some Capcom characters. This is the same sort of thing. So what you have is characters from Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Darkstalkers, and Red Earth. I thought this was really neat when I checked it out. It has a handful of characters that I've seen before, but I've never seen them in stuff. I don't know if I know the character's name. Maybe I'll put it up here. She has curly blonde. She's got drill hair, kinda. But she's one of those Capcom characters that I've seen in reference to Street Fighter stuff, but I'm I've never seen her in any of the Street Fighter games. She's in here. I don't know what she's from. Maybe she's just in a game that I haven't played much. But anyway, that one seems neat. Next are things that I ordered. More PlayStation 2 and original Xbox stuff, and then we'll get to some newer stuff. I'll try to breeze through these a little bit. Virtua Fighter 4. Never been a huge Virtua Fighter fan, but I've always kind of liked it. There's the one on the Dreamcast, which I played. I remember playing. My friend imported it before it had come out here. And I remember playing this one. I played it against my friend that brought it over, and I was actually pretty good at this. So, just one of those things, again, a lot of these fighting games and stuff I've enjoyed and played before, and it's silly for me not to have them. I also picked up Mad Maestro, and you can see here I'm marking if these have scratch discs or things like that, so I can resurface them or do whatever I need to. You guys, if you watch Crack Lotus, you know that he's been collecting some of these here, the Fresh Games series. I hadn't really paid much attention to that, honestly, but I guess there were Eidos or somebody did a little series of these where they had what was the R-Type on the PS2 here. They had Mr. Mosquito and stuff like that. So I don't have all of these, but Mad Maestro I just kind of wanted to check out again. Quirky Japanese developed game that I was interested in seeing. Another Sega developed game here, we have Astro Boy. I don't know why, I've never been a huge Astro Boy fan, but I've just never checked it out. The main reason why I picked this one up is I was reading that this is actually developed by Sonic Team. And Sonic Team, normally does some pretty great games. So heck, a Sega published Sonic Team game, this seems pretty interesting, so I'm going to want to check that one out and see if that's any good. definitely I've been enjoying playing Bust-A-Move. I think it was Bust-A-Move 4 on the Dreamcast I definitely liked, and that one on the, I get maybe Bust-A-Move 2 on the Taito Collection, Taito Legends. So I picked up Super Bust-A-Move, which I forget which version of Bust-A-Move this is. I'll look it up. Yeah. This one was actually coming to me from Hawaii, which was interesting, and the guy totally, like, missed the email and didn't send this to me, so I had to follow up with him, but I finally got that, which was great. And I picked up another collection here, Capcom Classics Collection 2. Now, this is pretty awesome. I mean, it's got 20 Capcom Classics, and again, I have a lot of these on the Capcom Collection on the PS3, but this one has a few games that that one doesn't have. I don't know what they are, but maybe I'll make note of those. But regardless, I know that there were at least one or two that didn't make it on there that I wanted to check out. Finally, for PS2 stuff, we have Soulcalibur II. Again, one of my favorite fighting series, and I can't believe that I don't own these games. So definitely I want to pick up, I think I have Soulcalibur 5, and I have Soulcalibur 1. So I think I'll get 2 and 3 and 4. Maybe it's Soulcalibur 4 that I have. Has 5 come out? I don't know. Anyway, whatever the newest one is, I think I have it. So I want to fill in those gaps. And next is just a couple more original Xbox games. Gun Valkyrie. This is one that I used to enjoy back in the day, even before I was thinking about this at all. I remember playing this. I just thought it was a really fun game, a really cool art style. Kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's a little steampunky, but it's sort of more like cyberpunk. It's steampunky cyber. I don't know what it is. It's an interesting style, and interesting gameplay mechanics. It's a pretty cool game, and this I know for a fact was slated to be a Dreamcast game that they ported over to Xbox. So another of the Dreamcast's legacy here. I'm really glad to have. Something else that is probably in the same boat is Spike Out Battle Street. Now, I don't know how well some of these beat-em-up kind of button-mashing games made their transition into 3D, but I mean, it's certainly an established genre, and, this seems like that kind of game. I haven't checked it out yet, but looking forward to taking a look at that. I don't think I would have. I don't know, you just look at this cover and you're like, I don't know, but I'm glad to have the chance to go back and check some of these games out, because I have a feeling that some of them are, going to be better than I was expecting. Something here that wasn't better than I was expecting is another one of my imports. This is Sengoku Ace Episode 3. You guys may remember that I recently got a chance to play Sengoku Ace 1 and 2, also known as Sengoku Sengoku Blade, and I don't remember what the other one was. Sengoku Burst or something else. Whatever, I'll make an annotation. This one is the third one on PSP. This was, as far as I know, PSP only, and this was panned by everyone. Critics, fans, Japanese fans, people here. Nobody really liked this that much. I feel like an apologist, because I played this and I'm like, oh, this seems decent. It's not as bad as everyone says. Ultimately I think it is a little disappointing, especially considering its amazing pedigree. Those first games, especially the second one, were so good, and this doesn't live up to that. It is kind of 2.5D. It still has great artwork by this artist who is not the artist that I thought they were, but the artist that they are is very good. And, this was entirely playable, though I did enjoy playing this. I don't know if I finished it, but I may have, but I definitely enjoyed the time that I spent with it. It does seem like it has an interesting, scoring mechanic, which, I haven't gotten to the point with shmups where I really even care about that yet, because I'm not there. With this one, I could almost see trying to mess around with that a little bit, though, because it seemed interesting, but it also seems hard to pull off a little bit, too. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have some more impressions or gameplay video of this, as I play it some more. I'm definitely glad to have picked it up, without a doubt, because it is such a cool series. Now to the newest stuff that I got. This is another really long video because I picked up so much stuff. Don't judge, please. You know, I think some of this might have just been part of wanting me to feel like myself again. Just, you know, get into these things that I like, that make me feel like I'm, you know, finding and exploring stuff that I think is cool and that's important to me. So that was worth it, without a doubt. I picked up A Channel here on Blu-ray. I definitely talked about this in my last Anime I Watched video. This is just tremendously adorable. Like I said, it's just a slice of life series. It's, you know, it's daily stuff with these characters. They're, you know, they decide to make pancakes in one episode. They get caught in the rain. They, you know, one of the girls forgets her homework at school, and they all go back at night to help her, you know, pick it up because she's afraid to go out at night to the school. You know, it's stuff like that, but it's a really charming, adorable series, and I just love sort of these slice of life stories, and I found this one really good. I come back to this. I've watched this not since I got it, but I mean, I had watched it originally, and I had watched it a couple of times, which was my indication that, hey, it's time to go ahead and pick this up now that it had come out. So really, really liking that. I also picked up the second set of Sailor Moon, and I'm also enjoying that. You know, it's tough with me because I feel like I'm not a hardcore Sailor Moon fan, but it's such a big deal, and it is such a classic, kind of fun series, and I've enjoyed watching it, that I really want to finish it out. I'm not quite as, like, gung-ho about it as I am about, like, Ranma 1/2, but I think I'll really kick myself if I don't complete this series as they release them, especially if they get into some of the later ones, which I don't think ever came out here, like Sailor Stars, and, you know, there's Sailor Moon S and Double S and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that that they just keep going with those, because I'm enjoying watching Sailor Moon, without a doubt. Next, I don't think I talked about this. My friend got me this for Christmas. We sort of did a late gift exchange. I guess I apologize if I did talk about it. I don't think I did. He gave me Akiba's Trip for the PlayStation 4. So grateful for this. I didn't know what he was going to get me, and he just seemed like, well, it's got to be the most obvious thing, because, like, you know, what else would I want? And, you know, but then he gave it to me, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course. I mean, this is how could I not have this game? I've been wanting to import it forever. I mean, it's been on, the Vita and the PlayStation 3 and everything else in the world. So anyway, this is the localization. Again, another one of those ones I can't believe that they brought out here. But I think it's cool, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. I still haven't played it, though. Haven't actually checked that one out yet, but really looking forward to it. Something else I picked up for myself, and really the only reason I got this was because of the demo. Probably because I've been getting back into fighting games again a little bit too. That is Guilty Gear Zerd, or Xrd, or however you say that, Sign. I don't know, this seems like this was made by some Chunibyo person or something anyway, so just, you know, you kind of got to roll with it. But again, you know, you just have these cool, like, anime kind of designs, and I actually, I went through a period where, I don't know if we were planning to, like, write some sort of, like, fan fiction or doujin or something like that, but my friend and I decided to, like, draw all the characters from Guilty Gear. So I actually am pretty familiar with the characters, because I've drawn a bunch of them. And I did play, you know, at least one of the games, probably the first one, maybe one of the ones on the PS2, quite a bit back in the day. So, you know, that I have some fond memories of it, and this just seemed really neat for, you know, newer 2D fighters. I've definitely picked up some of those in the recent past, like Persona 4 Arena, which I haven't really played too much of, but what was it? The Aqua Plus one there, Aqua Pazzo, which I really like. So yeah, you know, I wanted to pick that one up, so I did. I haven't checked it out that much, but what I've played of it, I've enjoyed. And finally, the last game here, of course, was Criminal Girls Invite Only. This is the limited edition of the U.S. release of this, and or Western release of it. I don't know. I mean, it's could be the same one released in Europe. I'm not really up on that. But the North American release here, we have, of course, the game, and it really just came with a couple things here. Well, I guess there's several things. So you've got the official soundtrack, which is pretty cool. I haven't opened it up. You have a little book, which is the Secret Diary, and it just has like little descriptions of the characters, and it has some images in the back, which are they're very nice, but I'm not going to show them on camera right now. But yeah, you've got just a little Kisaragi and Ron and Tomoe and Shin and all the different characters in there. And then you of course have the nice art box, and you get this little pendant, which actually I think is more and more cool, just because I didn't realize, but I mean, it's featured extremely prominently in the box art. You can see right there. So you kind of get the pendant that you have from the game. I don't even remember if it shows up in the game itself, but anyway, I thought that was a cool little extra. So to end on an end note here, I do want to say that I haven't played enough of this game to really give my final verdict on the the censorship and the changes that were made and things like that. And I get it. I get that we've gone through this all before. It's one of the main reasons why a lot of fan translators wanted to translate games originally, is some of those, especially some of those old Super Nintendo era sort of 16-bit era RPGs and stuff were elements were changed because of what Nintendo felt was appropriate. Here we have this game coming out, and elements are changed because of what NIS America thinks is appropriate, or whomever. I don't want to say that I condone that in particular, that I think it was super necessary or any of that, but the thing that bothers me, I think, and it bothers me quite a bit, is seeing people out there that are attacking this game, that are giving it negative reviews, that are giving it 1-star ratings and stuff like that, because of this perceived slight of some things were changed about the game. This sort of thing happens in Japan too. I mean, you have PC games that come out on PC, and then these all ages versions are released on consoles. It happens all the time. It doesn't just happen here, and I think people are overreacting, and the main thing is I'm wondering when it became cool to. That's what it is. Where I don't remember when there was a time when when not buying a thing was the way that you communicated to people how you wanted it to be. I mean, because honestly, if you're interested in the game and you're not buying it because of something about the game, and then you're telling everybody else in the world not to buy it either because it's crap, effectively all you're doing is just ensuring that those games aren't going to come out, regardless of whether they're in the form that you want or not, So, it just seems like a much more well-reasoned, person would, purchase a game, play it, and explain, why it is that they had a problem with it, not just be I'm not buying this game because, there's some minor thing about it that I don't agree with, so, screw them. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that, and say that I'm playing this game despite any changes that were made to it. And, I did play this in Japanese, so, maybe I'm spoiled since I have already had the unadulterated original experience, but I, for one, am playing this regardless of what changes they made to it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. This is a huge, long video again, but that's It's how I roll. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys will join me again for more video game and anime related videos.